In this session I'm going to talk about the use of the cotton leaf blade model for the interpretation of plant tissue data for cotton. Unlike the PDL, it is part of the normal process of ordering and lab test download results and interpretation. So to start off, once you've got the order in the system and the lab tests have come back and you've saved them off into the software, then we go into lab test results and locate the particular set of leaf tissue and the results that you want to interpret. In this case, we've got some sitting in here, and I'm just going to click on it as you would for any other interpretation and bring up the interpretation wizard. I'm just going to tell it this is a demonstration for cotton leaf blades, and next. One of the things that you need to do is to ensure that you're using the right evaluation table, and with cotton you'll see there are two possible evaluation tables. One is from mid-vegetative to flowering, and the other one that we probably prefer to use because it's more flexible is the youngest mature leaf blade, all growth stages. This one differs to the other one in that it actually uses the time between sowing and sampling to adjust the critical levels. So it's a lot more flexible to use this one. But in doing that, we've got to give it a sowing date. Now, the sample that I've got here is actually one from 2012. So just to make sure we're not trying to grow it over 3 seasons, I've got to tell it the sowing date was 2012, not this year. So I'm just going to go in and select that this was 2012. And the actual sowing month was October and about the 11th. So I'll finish that off. And that's as simple as it is. It'll go away and now and interpret for that period of time between the 11th and the sampling date what the critical levels are. So you can see the evaluation tables here are telling me that I've got a high nitrogen, a low potassium, low sodium and a high manganese, but everything else is pretty well within normal range. If I want to go and check just what the critical levels for this is, they're sitting over here in the cotton leaf model, and in here you can go and change if you've got the sowing date wrong, or the sampling data are slightly wrong, then you can adjust them in here. But also sitting in here is the output summary of the critical range. So you can see for 54 days after sowing, then the critical range for nitrogen was 3.51 to 4.51. So that's the reason why this was sitting in the high range. The potassium 1.61 to 2.56. Once again, you can see this one's below that lower range, so it was calculated as being low. So you can change those input parameters and recalculate and then close. And as you can see, they're the issues we're dealing with. So we can't take nitrogen away from the crop, but we can try and address the potassium issue, and if you wanted to, you can put a rate of potassium in at this stage and go through the recommendation process of finding a product. Add some, say from one of the suppliers. I might go and find some muriate of potash. And I'm going to broadcast it. And I might say ASAP. I'll put 20 kilograms on, and you can see I've matched up, I've produced a recommendation on what to do. And at that stage it's just a matter of going across as you would with any other report. Tell it the type of report that you want and print it off or send it to the grower. So that's the cotton leaf process, as distinct from the cotton petiole process, which is different. If you haven't seen the cotton petiole video, you should go and have a look at it, because the process is different to the leaf process.